things in a huge fashion and absolutely takes Lions Creed over the finish line. Congratulations. I'm going to do it, Jay. How you doing, Eugene? I'm just going to fix my camera.
Completely exhausted, mentally,
You're in
emotionally.
Awe of the absolute that is Lions Creed?
Like, just absolutely in awe. And, like, of course, congratulations to Lions Creed, but my God, I think this might have been the best game I've ever casted because it was so...
You've been at Lions Creed, and you worked hard for it as well. We're going to kick it to a quick break, and the desk will be back to break that down afterwards.
pull up in that Lambo with the 10 on it. Everything on fleek, 14 got a rims on it. I pull up in that Lambo with the 10 on it. Everything on fleek, 14 got a rims on it. I pull up in that, 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 pull up Lambo with the 10 got it.
It's time to bring us back to the desk, getting ready to break down game one, which, what can I say? Lions Creed, just send me a jersey or sponsor me or something, because, like, I'm your lucky charm. 2 days I've been on the stream, 2 wins that they've got. Prediction completed. J-Real, he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT! You know? I'm going to keep the predictions running. We are going to predict the next match in a second, but we'll hand it over to the 2 losers of the predictions race so far. Doctor, you can kick it off. What went wrong? What went wrong? We can bring up pick and bans while Doctor tells us what went wrong with this game.
I don't know, man. It started off looking pretty good for DMG, and they shut down the Darius completely. They get those 2 good ganks up on top lane, and then it felt like after that lane swap came around, where Kum and Heathen went up top, it wasn't responded to fast enough by sending the Camille down bot, who had a lead in the 1v1, and it just allows Darius to free farm up to the point where he can finish his item. So now we're not using the fact that it's Sunder a Camille versus no item Darius. Instead, Camille's stuck laning under turret against ranged champions. Darius gets completely back into the game. Camille doesn't even have TP, so she can't if you don't read that swap coming ahead of time, you can't react to it quickly, and then you can't really pressure the sides either, and then Darius gets a penta, and it all starts to go a bit difficult. And
yeah, well, the penta was quite late in the game. Like, obviously there was a lot before then, right? We had the Ziggs rotations, we had the plays. Yes, there was a little bit of a shaky mid-game rail. Like, I don't know, we were kind of talking about, we were like, yeah, they've done really well. They've kind of opened up the game. And then they kind of Lions created it a little bit. They kind of had that moment where it just went a little bit wrong, rail, obviously that mid-game. But what did DMG not do to kind of take it away from Lions Creed at that moment?
I mean, reacting to the swap was one big thing, because Darius got 40 CS up on Camille, which just fully put him back into that lane, got his item back and said, what lead? It meant absolutely nothing at that point. So Cormac's fully relevant back in the game, doesn't need any extra resources to be strong, so he's exactly where he needs to be. And then it's the fight around the dragon. They're split like 3 different ways, so they have no way of actually getting towards the backline. Ziggs is free hitting, and Darius was just having complete freedom to hit whoever he wanted. Kai'Sa was split off. Orianna split off. There's no angle for them to actually take that fight at that point. So
Yeah, 10-5-3 tells a story, right? Like, obviously, you got the Penta, obviously had a pretty good last team fight as well when we did see the back door from the Ziggs, but all in all, pretty good game. 32k damage, that's quite a bit. 15k gold as well, setting himself up. Quite a bit of CS2, was doing a pretty good game. I think this is one of Cormac's better games in the leagues, right? You don't really get a Penta kill and then it's not a good game, correct, Doctor?
I mean...
You're so done.
At some point, if you get the Penta, something's gone right. Admittedly, he didn't get the triple after, where he got denied 3 times in a row by stopwatch into Kaiser, what you call it, invisibility, into another stopwatch. At that point, it was looking a little bit doomed for the Darius. But then, you know what? Kum still just TPs it and ends it anyway. So
yeah. And that's how you win games. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about how you win it. It's the fact that you won it, right? And Lions Creed won it. They did it. They made my prediction correct. They put another point on their tally. And we talked about it's not all over for them. They could still come back. They could secure playoffs. But the way they got to do it is by picking up wins. And that's obviously the most obvious answer I could have given. But they had to start today, and they did. 2-8 now, 4 more games left in hand. Could go 6-8. Could be just enough to bring themselves through forward to the next stage. But let's keep the tabs on it indeed. As that's Lion Creed's story. But on to the next game. Let's bring it up. Next matchup that is going to occur: VZK versus Ruddy. Now, we're obviously going to have to drop predictions on this. We won't have to do it just yet. But these two teams, I feel like, come into this not necessarily evenly matched. And you know what? Actually, I take it back. I am going to draw a prediction right now. I think Ruddy win this. I have faith in Ruddy. I think they're just doing a lot of movement, a lot of schmovement. Yes, they've had a little bit of an upset here and there. It's not been the strongest, but they're coming in on a little bit of a higher note. 2-win streak in the bag after a bit of a weird mid-split. Whereas VZK, they are kind of an up and down team, right? They've kind of had good games against some lower teams, not necessarily against the higher teams. I'm picking Ruddy. Doctor, are you disagreeing, or are you on the J-Rule is right train?
I'm on the Ruddy up train, you know. I think
you're
giving yourself a bit of credit on this one.
Of course, yeah, of course. I just predicted Lions Creed to win, and they did. So what can I say?
All right, well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's looking like a bit of a wash for Ruddy. Of course, they've been tearing it up, and again, if anyone's going to be able to deal with the Lars split, I'm sure Akers can probably just tear him up in the early stages of the game, never even let him get there, and then you got to deal with the rest of Ruddy all over the map as well. So, you know, it should be, in my opinion, should be pretty cut and dry for Ruddy, but I thought it was going to be pretty cut and dry for DMG, so maybe I'm washed. Who knows?
Predictions washed. You used to be good at predictions, now not so much. Real, how are you feeling about this one? Are you kind of siding with us? Is it Ruddy up, or are you saying, you know what, maybe Lars can kind of put the team on his back?
I'd definitely say Ruddy up, but at the same point, I don't think you can ever count Lars out, even if it is against Akers. Akers has all this experience, but he's been beaten by several top laners in this league, so it's not everything. And if he's fully been stuck in Renekton duty, there is decent counters into Renekton. He's not invincible. He still is a raid boss, don't get me wrong. Can transform into a really good team fight champion. But Lars does have some interesting picks. It's just whether... I don't think he's going to go back to Decane anytime soon. I don't think he's going to pull out the Nasus anymore. He needs something more proactive. Okay. So, who knows? Could see the Gwen.
Let's meet the team, right? We talked about Lars, but this ain't a solo player game. This ain't Tekken, right? This is League of Legends. So, let's meet the team of VZK. Let's bring them up onto the board. And you know what? I'll give it to you this time, Rail. You can talk about this team first.
So Lars, we don't really need to say much about him. He is one of the main driving forces of this team. Goldie has been very decent as of late. He's been one of the stand-up players other than Lars, I'd have to say. The rest has kind of looked odd. So Hollow's never really looked like he's had the carry potential for his team, but he's always been there. It's whether they can actually enable him to do more, because there might be more that we're not seeing with Lars, for sure. But at the end of the day, he could also just be stuck on Orianna duty, because that's the way of the current patch. Bot lane, I mean, they could go for a Jinx angle. They could. Okay. With how they play, they could go for a Jinx angle, play a protective mid like Orianna or something along them lines, and something basic in the jungle like a Jarvan or a Sejuani, and then enable Lars on a Bruiser or something like that.
Yeah, they did play the Ziggs before, so maybe they're going to keep with the new meta stuff. Maybe they're bringing that Jinx, who knows? But let's meet who they're going to have to play against. Ruddy Painkillers, a team that I feel like most people will know about. But Doctor, talk us through this roster.
Look, we already know what's going on here, don't we? We've got classic Akkas up in the top lane, no longer going by Erling Narland. I don't know if that means he's not playing Nar anymore, or if there's some other secret meaning to him actually changing his name to his actual name. But then, I mean, look, across the board, Sin, an absolute menace down in the bot lane, Ketsuo and Crisis, both staples. Although Crisis, a bit of a cheeky role swap, but still tearing it up
to original
nonetheless. Like, we got stacks on stacks across the Ruddy squadders. Oh, apparently there's we've got a bit of a substitution coming on in.
Oh,
yo, it's Fuyu. Oh, Fuyu's coming in to play support. Okay.
I feel like Ruddy has all the big names of like UK esports. Like, I feel like everyone that is on the Ruddy team, I like know of. You know what I mean? Like they've been about. You know, like they've been playing. Immediately, one question that I do have on my mind is that when I used to know Crisis, he was a Hecarim main. We ain't really seen the Hecarim out. So were we maybe looking for that one, Rail?
Absolutely not. He's dog champion. Don't play him right now. We leave Hecarim in the gutter. He's nowhere to be seen in current meta, especially with the likes of Graves being very prevalent. Talia. Jungle is in an interesting spot right now. A lot is good, but obviously with team play, there's certain champions that will always be staples, like you Jarvans, you Sejuani's. These champions are always going to be relevant. I'm very curious to how not having Jamsu is going to change things, because he's been one of the heavy engagers for them. Even on the last game, he played Renata and still was one of the engagers. He was on the front line, cancelling Jarvan EQs and just being an absolute menace. So without him, I'm very interested to see how the bot lane plays out.
Well, I find out. It's definitely a switch that we weren't expecting. It's a bit last minute. The Fuyu is going to come in and replace Jamsu. Doctor, does that bring any like doubt into your mind? Any like bit of worry?
I mean, a little bit, because Fuyu, is an ADC player. Right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, traditionally speaking, of course, who knows who knows how to play bot lane better than support would be the AD, right? So at least there's a little bit of reassurance there in terms of what that means that Fuyu is going to play. Is it just going to be Enchanter duty? I honestly think that everyone says that like, oh, you also feel just like lock in Lulu or whatever. I think it's actually easier to play something like the Leona or the Nautilus, because you have to care about your positioning just so much less. It's very obvious what you do in a fight. It's, sometimes you have to be very careful with how you're using your various different buffs on Enchanter, but if you're playing Leona, you're just going in and stunning the carry. So we might see Fuyu just go for something crazy like that. It is also worth noting that I don't think Fuyu plays that much recently. Okay. Looking at the stats, they have been playing a little bit of League in the last few weeks. They have now possibly decayed. Maybe it was just regular losses. But the point is, Fuyu's now D1, so not 100% what we were looking for out of the Ruddy squad. All I know is that this bot lane's going to be entertaining.
Well, there's potential for Senna as well, right? If he's an ADC player, then maybe they switch it up. Maybe they say, you know what, put the Senna in on the map and see how that one goes. But so far, we're seeing a few bans come across the board. So Jinx going to be taken away, the Kai'Sa also out, Sejuani banned away too by VZK, whereas on the side of Ruddy, taken away the Fiora, obviously one that loves to pilot himself. But then Caitlyn and Briar going to be removed.
Yeah, not a surprise. Briar is very strong right now still a very disgusting jungler, very stat padded as well on top of that. Yet to really see a Briar yet, I think. I don't believe we've actually seen one played. And Brexit did used to play a lot of Lee Sin, Crisis I should say. Is actually in a very good state right now. With the way the current jungle is set up, you can just go around heavily ganking. There has been a weird meta in high elo where some junglers have been back to taking Doran's Blade on a couple of champions. I don't think we're going to see that today, but there is that angle.
There's also people have been playing Lee Sin top with Ignite. That has come up since he got some buffs. I think it was on either 13, 19 or 18. Been a little bit, so there is opportunity for flex potential there, but again, it's probably not the most likely. I don't agree though on the Doran's Blade. I think if you want to get out on the map, you want to have that high tempo, you want to be like dueling like a madman on something aggressive early, the Doran's Blade can go crazy, especially if you can clear fast enough to either do a full clear, reset, get Doran's Blade, and be back on the map for Crab. Or there are some champions where you would be taking Future's Market, so you could do like your red side jungle, reset, get a Doran's Blade with Future's Market, and then just go ruin the enemy in their own jungle with this massive
This is Sin's first Twitch game.
I like this.
In the UK, yeah.
Wait, pause.
I like
it's
this
not Sin. I'm a genius. It's Fuyu.
Nah, I'm calling it
Twitch
that is
support.
That is 100% Sin into the Ezreal matchup. We've seen him do that past times a lot. Generally does pretty well. Obviously laning a bit early. Ezreal can trade a little bit better, but obviously depends on minions. One of Sin's most played champions ever, I believe, is Twitch. So
yeah,
and then you pair it up with someone else's most played champion in the Yone on Ketsuo. So
a lot of comfort, a lot of control. Now, obviously, VZK are going for a pretty standard comp. I'm surprised they didn't choose the Poppy over the Maokai, to be honest, obviously into the Lee Sin, and the Yone also getting locked in. Obviously, they wouldn't have known that Yone was coming, but I feel like it would have maybe gone pretty well. But either way, they got the Maokai, they've got the Orianna. That's very standard setup, the Ezreal going through as well. And then a support to kind of aid in that team fight. Renata would sit pretty nicely. Medio, again, could play a big role. They have a lot of choice, but it's going to be Brom that they lock in.
Just insecure, isn't it? Ezreal Braum.
he is a hater.
Oh, we got Ezreal Braum, Maokai, Orianna. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna do a lot this game, lads. We're definitely going to attempt something before the 23-minute mark.
Okay. Is that a Yone top lane, Cassio mid?
No,
I mean,
Cassio. Is it Cass support? Is it Cass support?
It's Cass AD. It's Twitch support. It's Lee top, and we've got the jungle waiting to come in.
No, it's just jungle Yone right now. Like that's what they're going for. This is a wild draft though. Like, I will say, Ruddy have come through and they've done some stuff. They've got the Cassante as well, so that's obviously going to be Cassante on the top side. They have picked some picks. Oh, come on, please, VZK. Bring the Garen to
Poison bot lane, by the way. Poison bot lane.
Oh, is that the tech?
Yeah.
Actually, that's why you think it's Cassio. But okay.
You can get the stacks for Mr. Twitch.
Twitch rocks it, yeah.
Okay, here I
Jax.
was thinking it was like Secret Cassante support or something, new tech. But
new visuals Jax coming in as well. Don't mind a bit of that.
Also a new ult, like
Jax is decent into the matchup. Cassante can bully him early. Obviously does have a lot of aggression in the early game. Cassante obviously is changed now. So once you press W, you have to hold it for 0.65 before you can actually do it. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of locked in a bit more on your W now. You can't just tap it and get the stats from it for free.
I think it's a little bit more Jax-sided now, though, because the aim of the rework, right, was to make it so that there's actual windows during the CC that Cassante can put out, because before he could just lock you up for like 5 minutes straight, and so now he's stronger, but he has more windows. And if you're Jax, all you have to do is just press E at someone. You just mash E the whole time that Cassante goes on you, and at some point you'll cast it, and then it's like, okay, great. Now he can't proc his passive on me, he's not getting that true damage off, you know. I'm pretty sure the Qs do still go through, but if he tries to W me, or if he ults me if he hasn't already, he's going to get stunned at the end of it, and I'm just going to Q out. So I think that Jax should have a decent time, and for the most part he does okay versus tanks in lane as well, especially level 1. For some of them you can just sort of Q on and just start beating them down with default tempo.
And at least add on
big picture. You're talking too small picture, man. Like, I'm not going to lie, you're talking about top lane. It's irrelevant, bro. It's irrelevant right now. Like, it's Cassante Jax. We've seen it before. We've been there, right? We haven't seen Twitch Cassiopeia in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Now they're going to regret picking Braum. I can tell you that. Just being bullied by range champions, Braum is just not going to have too much fun in that one. I can feel like there has to be an early gank bot to shut this down so they can't get going at all.
There's got to be some level 1 cheese here as well, right? You know, not just because Twitch. So what's the tech? The tech also. So for the uninitiated, Amogus,
to the League of Legends,
passive poison will count to for Cassiopeia for her E. Her E is like, if they're poisoned, she gets a move speed boost. It's not just Cassiopeia's poison. for whatever reason, it's also Singed and Twitch. So
And Teemo.
Yeah, and Teemo and Gromp back in the day, if you smited Gromp. But
so Cassio can start E in this matchup.
She starts E and Twitch just he's behind them level 1 with Q. He goes, I was hiding by the way, haha. And then someone just dies, right? Like they just get ran down level 1 because you've got a perma 30 move speed boost on your Cassio, and you're also being, banged up by the hail of blades Twitch behind you. Like, if they're not ready for this level 1, it's just the easiest kill or like free summoners.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Please tell me someone clipped Doctor doing Twitch, by the way, and that's now going to be like a sub emote, like the sub noise is Doctor impersonating Twitch. I'm hoping someone clipped that.
There's an angle.
Yeah. Go back, that was a real... Yeah, so talking about this kind of Twitch Cassiopeia, obviously we're talking about the potential for cheese. There's also going to be quite a solid late game because obviously they do both scale. Yes, Cassiopeia is going to be on the support, but if they do get that bot lane roaming, then it could cause major issues. And what a better way to do it than have Elise in? The early game is going to be very much their favor. Obviously, Maokai also very good in the early game, but do you see Ruddy basically just playing fully to this bot side, or is there some angle where also Yone could get a lot of love?
Oh, there's definitely an angle where Yone can get a lot of love because it's Ketsuo Yone. It's not just anyone Yone. It's one of his best champions, for God's sake. Like, as soon as he gets ahead, he'll be an absolute menace for anyone in this game. And even Jax, it becomes quite rough for him if Yone gets ahead. So there's even an angle to shove Yone into a side lane with Hullbreaker and have that separate angle if Cassante can't match him. So there's that angle. But for VZK, the angle is just straight top lane. It's Lars on a split pushing champion. He thrives on split pushing champions, and it's a matchup which is generally okay for Jax. So, and Doctor pretty much said it himself, like there's more angles for Jax to get Counter-Strike off a lot easier, so it can completely change the dynamic of the matchup.
Here's my problem with the game for Ruddy, and I'm sure they've got a solution, and I just haven't figured it out yet.
Okay.
Talk a big game about the Twitch Cassiopeia bot lane level 1. What happens level 2? I feel like once we get to that stage, something's gone wrong.
Well,
like,
you say that.
Is Cassio support doing 10 minutes?
You've got Miasma. Like, you've got Miasma for the Ezreal and also for the Jax, also for the Maokai. Like, there are things that I think Cass can do. Patchifying Gaze in the later game could come pretty true in the team fights, because if we think about it, right, Brom's biggest issue, or Brom's big game in the late stage is to block a lot of damage that you can. So when Spray and Pray is used by the Twitch, you want to stand in the front of that team fight. But if your team is going forward with the Maokai, with the Jax, with the Brom, Petrifying Gaze can kind of set that all up, and then whoa, now it's time for Fate Sealed. Yone comes through, boom, leads in with the kick away or something. I feel like there is actually a lot of capability that Cassiopeia can bring, but it's surviving that early stage. I do think that they could get caught in that kind of 3 to 6 period, but it's also on VZK to make it happen, right? Because I do think that there's angles. I feel like they wouldn't have played it if they haven't practiced it.
I think, yeah, Petrifying Gaze can stun up 5 people. That's so true. You know who else can? Leona, Alistair, Rel, Nautilus. Like, if we only pick the Maokai ourselves. Like, and also, it's just be funny if it happens. The world where they go for the big pick with the Miasma, and they're like, right, yeah, we're going to do this engage, then we're going to drop a Miasma, and then Orm just jumps in, shields it, and just destroys it on the way out. I'm not actually sure if he destroys it or if he makes the circles that he blocks land at his feet. But either way, that Ezreal's shifting straight out. It's not relevant, it's not that important, but it might happen at some point. And it will just be very funny if Ruddy set up a whole play around a Miasma and then end up going down.
Hold on a second, because there is actually an interesting angle which we didn't think about as well. There is a world where Sin plays the support in this role as the Twitch and goes AP Twitch, because you have enough AD in your comp, so you don't need to be AD Twitch here. So there is that angle.
I was thinking this, but then the problem is that you're double AP bot, right? So someone builds, one no magic mantle, and it's a bit over. But it definitely, because what's Cassiopeia building on a support budget, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
He's got nothing going on, so it might be better to just give Twitch something.
Well,
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. So, for the second time today, Ijunko, Temporal, take us into this very, very mixed up match.
All right. What an absolute special on a Thursday night for us, E-June. Very familiar with Fuyu, very familiar with, all of the things he hovered. He's a really great Sona, he's a really great Seraphine, has been known to play a little bit of Yuumi, a little bit of the Lulu, but instead, a full poison bot lane here for our second game of the night.
I'll tell you one thing, it's definitely a a flavor win for sure. Poison with poison. I don't know exactly how consistent this will be draft wise, but it will be very fun. Of course, it is going to be Ruddy versus VZK, and honestly, I'm still recovering from game one. I feel much better now. Thank you so much for taking a bit of the introduction for me. I do actually appreciate it. We do have a bit of early game action coming here from the side of VZK, trying to see if they can do any action in boss side, but of course spotted out by Ruddy.
Yeah, they'll see it coming. They'll back away. Really, what is quite exciting about Ruddy, who are on the blue side of the map, is that the level 1 normally for Twitch and Cassiopeia, normally not so great, right? Cassiopeia can't have something that either slows people down or moves them up, and her Twin Fangs. The Twitch can do that with his W, with his Flask of Poison, and that just allows them to be the complete package at level 1. So we'll have to see if Jolly Boy lives, as Crisis will be checked here by Lars.
Okay, just backing off, no problem at all. Lee Sin and Maokai going to be starting on the top side of the map, both kind of maybe trying to think that bot lane this time is going to be the one with excitement, but if we know anything about VZK, we know that all the excitement lies in top lane with Lars, the man, the legend himself, this time now on Jax. Ooh, okay, some feisty movements here, some aggressive posturing.
Looks like they still went for the level 1 without the flask there, with the Q. Still advantaged on over, and it will be the Twitch that is the support played by Sin, as Rail called. So going back to his Twitch one-trick ways, level 2 comes through.
Yep, they have to be careful. Oh, this is some exciting stuff. Oh, wait, they're just going in super hard on Sin. Sin is stunned. Boom. First blood. VZK gets a really nice, easy first blood. Smoke Critter is getting low. Oh. Whoa, he flashed in. Platky trying to see if he can get the kill. Gets the kill, but in the end, that is going to be 1 kill for Smoke Critter, 1 kill for Jolly Boy, 2 for 1.
Yeah, and I think Smoke Critter nearly got away with an absolute heist there. Unfortunately, walked back into that last patch of poison. So you'll see Akers here just dive away from Lars. Pretty tough setup for the new Cassante against the Jax. Can be a bit difficult, where Cassante would traditionally do well in these early phases. Instead needs to hold on a little bit longer. And here we go. Here's the Twitch madness.
Oh, here's the little gank coming out. Hollow taking down to just a bit below half HP, so has to back off. Show respect to the laners of VZK Esports.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an extra sort of line here. The Yone deals with the Orianna so well. Both of the Sword brothers really good at attacking the control mages in mid from range. And if we would like to just take a quick look at the minimap again, great work from Fuyu to be on his own. That is wards and a Twitch in the top quarter of the map as they wait to gank Goldie. So Ruddy on the blue side, just doing all they can to upset everything. Crisis is going to invade everything now and generate a huge lead over Goldie. So while VZK tend to have these bigger team fight pieces, they're going to have the Shockwave, they're going to have Nature's Grasp, they're not going to have any money.
They're gonna look towards top lane as well. This is 3v1. Lars is surrounded by 3 people. The stun gets nobody, but it makes him have enough distance that he can back off. He didn't have to use any flash there, but we can just see how much pressure this Ruddy lineup is putting so far in the side lanes.
Yeah, and it's going to turn out into wave advantage. It's going to turn out into summoner spell advantage if that TP is committed. Great spots from Fuyu there. He is being held off this tower, but will remain alive. Goldie coming forwards again now. The TP through. Okay, that's where we are from mid.
Yep, they're just backing off. They're backing off. They don't want anything to do with this. We do have, of course, this is Ketsuo on this Yone as well. So he has the 3rd Q now. He can kind of go in, but now his W has ran out, so he's all the way in the back. Yeah. we do see Larky. He is just gonna have to back off. Oh, wait. Sin into Small Critter. Can't Small Critter run it? Oh, no, he can't. That's just a kill for Sin.
Yeah, it's the small issue with the Ezreal. Once you've got your Arcane Shift and your Flash away, you don't even have the damage to deal back or anything to move your opponents around. You just have the extra Flash, and Sin's on a tear.
Oh my god, that's just Sin getting another kill. This man is absolutely crazy right now.
Yeah, a little mafioso in the rat hat. Just going where no one else would. Going undercover. And getting a bunch of damage, if not converting into takedowns, converting into mental edge here over VZK. Hollow out of mana. This wave is pretty much gone. Should probably be using the teleport to get back.
Man, this is just so much early game aggression from the side of Ruddy. And one thing I really love about this, in my opinion at least, is the fact that with Sin just being around so much, it just brings so much paranoia to the side of VZK, where it's like, you don't see Twitch for a moment. Well, he could be anywhere, right?
Yeah. A bit of a shame. I thought they were going to push Hollow off midwave there with no mana, no way to fight back. I think they had enough to do that with flashes on Ketsuo and Crisis. Akka's having a bit better of a time in the top lane. Still just the early game, no big swings, and with that help from Twitch, nice and stable. The 2v2 running back through bot now. We'll have to see if Sin tries to surprise his own lane, where he's not shown up very much.
Yeah, I mean, this is such an interesting strategy coming out from the side of Ruddy. I really hope it kind of pans out for them, because so far, it's such a cool way of playing. You know what I mean? It's very unorthodox. And so far, working out just fine. VZK does have dragon control, so they will be taking this first dragon. I don't really see any response coming out from the side of Ruddy for this first one. It is a Cloud Soul. Or no, not Cloud Soul, Cloud Drake.
Cloud Dragon, yeah. We'll see what comes through after Cloud Drake. Not the most exciting when it's on its own. You know, a lot of people at home maybe not so enthused with a little bit of move speed and slow resist. With that said, it's quite exciting to have Sin. Oh my gosh, they're running in and they don't know it's 2v3.
Oh my god, they're doing it again. But this time Goldie is here. Smoker has to use the flash just to get away. But Goldie is on the side. But oh wow, that's just so much damage already coming out from the side of Fuyu that he has to back off. Action in the mid lane, but we must go back bot to notice that in the end it is going to be a peaceful correspondence. Ooh my god, Ketsuo went super aggressively into Hollow, forcing out the flash, forcing out the ult from Hollow.
Yo, everything goes wide in mid. Ketsuo ends up ulting the wave. Hollow ends up defensively ulting, turning into a sombrero as Ketsuo fancy feets away.
Oh, wait a second. This is Lars. This is Akker's going all out into Lars, and Lars is getting very low. Has to use the flash just to get away.
Yeah, with the changes to Cassante on 13.20, the ult does deal the more damage. His trade-offs are more dramatic now. Great use to know his limit there and force the flash out. With that now gone, might be difficult, but we'll go for another demolish. Sin is in behind him, still level 5.
Oh wait, this is Akker's getting super low. I thought for a second he might have died to the tower there, but at least he was able to get out of this. He had to support a Sin and Crisis, but we do have Goldie and Jolly Boy on the other side. Crisis is spotted out. Sin is spotted out too. They're closing in on Crisis. Boom, the Braum passive comes in, gets the stun in. This is Lars coming in with the nice counter attack, but whoa, the clapback coming out for Crisis gets the kill on Lars, and that is 1 kill so far. Sin is just an absolute terror in the streets.
Oh my god, he's gonna burn.
Wait, a killing spree? What?
Yep, gets the extra. We'll have to walk through the tower here. We'll likely fall. Yep. Even with the safeguard, just a little too much for the Twitch. And what an amazing chain event. Small Critter dissuades the dive, gets Akka's into a little bit of trouble with the true shot barrage across the map, but it's not enough to dissuade Crisis. Brexit on his Lee Sin goes even deeper, and with Sin picks up another 2, gets the priority in top lane. The Orianna up there now shoved under the tower. Ketsuo will struggle a little bit more against the Jax if he's going to stay in lane here, but they will pick up the Rift Herald. And at 9 minutes, Ruddy across the map, 2,000 up, and this Twitch still an ever-present surprise.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, once again, just like the Twitch just being around, it just makes you like so much more cautious. Like, it's like, well, I could go in here, I could trade well into Ketsuo, but just in case the Twitch is there, I should just chill, I should just farm, and that just gives so much space to these scaling laners that Ruddy has.
Yeah, the respect and the fear required to not be caught out, and even in a 2v3 in the bottom lane with Goldie so stuck on this Maokai 0-2-0. He's not had any meaningful impact across the map that wasn't just a handshake. And with just the blasting wand, is Ruddy's impetus to show up at the next fight and make it their own. Jolly Boy roaming to mid here will apply some stability.
Yeah, and I mean,
as the teleports come through, what we're looking at is the small unit fight here. We're looking at Crisis to go forwards. He's numbers disadvantaged, but he's been joined by Sin.
Yep. Over down the bot, there was a little bit of aggression happening over there, but in the meantime, I mean, Fuyu has been completely like recovering super well. Like in the early game, of course, he was like struggling because it's 2v1. I mean, no way you flourish then, but still, look, already got that Rod of Ages and just doing fine as this Cassiopeia now.
Yeah, you know, Cassiopeia, one of the few sort of control mages that does so well in the sides, and I think you're sort of skipping to that late game stage as long as she's not gankable. The 2v3 where she was able to hold. Oh, never mind, Ketsuo, thinking about it.
Wait. Is something gonna happen here? Hollow has gotten Brexit down very low. Hollow is low himself, so everybody just has to back off. Nobody wants to die there in the mid side.
Man, just watching the Cassiopeia Twin Fangs go through and deal so much damage, even though there is no poison underneath, just the setup from the Twitch. Absolutely disturbing scenes from Ruddy's bot lane.
Oh wait,
Ketsuo?
this is oh my god, Ketsuo going so aggressively. He is gonna get the kill, but a kill in response, 1-for-1, Hollow and Ketsuo.
Yeah, with the wave in his mid as well. It's good that Goldie's there to catch it, but it will put Hollow in an XP disadvantage. Rinse and repeat a few times, things start to get difficult for VZK's mid laner.
Yeah, I mean, Ruddy so far just having a really nice early game. Of course, VZK's fighting back well, but it really feels like Ruddy. Oh, there is Goldie versus Crisis here. And my god, the Lee Sin kicked my brother in the butt over there. Bam, got him all the way out of that situation. And we do have a bot lane dive potential over here going on. The Herald has been spawned. Small critter. Yeah, Crisis is just kind of going in here. He doesn't care about his teammates at all. He's like, I don't know. Like, he is truly Lee Syndroming here with, like, if he hits the Q, he goes in, right?
Man, kick my brother in the ass is a reference I've not heard for maybe 10 years. But that was
I remember that meme. It's a good one. It's an
absolute classic, Eugene.
My pleasure. And another pleasurable fight over here going on. Sin is caught out, stunned. Wow, they all go so low, but no more follow-ups, and that means that it is just Fuyu that's just gonna get a kill. In the meantime, Sin gets away with a slither of HP.
Yeah, despite the exhaust going down onto our pet rat support, the miasma over the wall curved perfectly, filled the space, and Fuyu just had everything he needed to unload. As the gold lead creeps forwards, when we look at this sort of skewed composition with a weird bot lane, Sin's going to be completely free soon, and the bot is going to be able to be a 2v1 for Fuyu. Ketsuo is doing so much work in mid. It's now about cleaning up objectives and generating a growing lead over your opponent. That could be Akkas teleporting into big fights. That can be favorable lane setups. It can be getting to this infernal dragon as VZK blow their teleport top lane.
Yep, they have blown their teleports, so that means that if there is perhaps a fight, Lars cannot help out. Dragon is being kind of roamed around. There is a bit of tension there. There is, of course, tension in top lane too with the fights as well. And Sin kind of in the middle of three people. Boom, gets caught out. Oh my god, there it is. Sin just completely dead. But in the same time, Small Critter is getting killed by Crisis as well. So that's a 1-for-1. 80 carry for support.
I think Sin wasn't expecting such a quick clapback in mid, and they do invest a lot onto the Twitch support. That is 2 ultimates from mid and support. And with Small Critter, with Gina going down on the side, it does mean that VZK will not have a way onto this dragon meaningfully. Goldie's just gonna have to clear his jungle, try and catch some gold up. He's in a tough position right now.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it is tough, and like it's this kind of a weird game, right? Because there's been a lot of action, but the lead's been kind of slowly and surely, calmly accumulating for the side of Ruddy Esport. It hasn't been anything super explosive, despite the fact that the skirmishes have been explosive.
It's more like every little skirmish gets them 300, and you grow that to 4,000 over these 9 kills. Over the gold lead you get by shoving in the wave afterwards. It's nice and clean macro. Small Critter here is in danger. He should probably be in mid.
Oh my god, the flash in from the side of Ketsuo. Absolutely crazy mumble jumble just going in there. Wow, that is decisiveness of a level of an absolutely pro player.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that flash, but Ketsuo clearly knows Yone fantastically. Just goes that.
I mean, I would have never done that in a million years. I would have been too scared that it wasn't going to work out.
He just knew that the Fate and Seal damage plus the snapback was enough after falling a flight slightly short. If we look across the map, we see Ruddy move over. They're going to go for this second Herald. They're going to try and get things on tempo. Goldie caught out.
Yep, Goldie is caught out, and just Sin and Crisis together is dealing a lot of damage. And my god, Crisis on an absolute rampage. This is Fuyu caught out on the side, but flashing out. But the shutdown coming in from the plant. That has been, the seeds have been there for a while, and this is Lars getting 1v2 at the moment. Ackers get slow, but in the end, that is Ketso getting a kill. So once again, another skirmish, another kind of small-ish lead building up for Ruddy.
Yeah, even though they're split, he managed to get the dive off, take the tower on top, and it really was going so well. Fuyu fading away back into the river after expending his health bar and expending cooldowns. Oh, Hollow, you're in trouble, my friend.
Oh my god, and Ketsu, I mean, the greatest thing is he's playing with so much confidence here, right?
Flash.
Wow,
So
Ketsu, absolutely
indeed.
scary. Yeah.
It's absolute magic out here on the Yone. VZK, they're in a tough position right now. They're not going to get onto this Rift Herald. Not going to be able to move out. If anything right now, they need a sneaky vision setup where they can see the Twitch come towards them before he stealths. It's a hard thing to do. Same thing you do with Evelyn. Maybe a deep ward in a lane and catch him in a moment when he doesn't expect.
I mean, kind of just talking praise about Sin's performance together with Crisis. The biggest loser isn't even the laners, right? It's Goldie over here on Maokai. Look how starved he is. Like, he just kind of finished like the demonic embrace, but he's struggling really hard. He's so poor, he might as well be on the streets.
Yeah, 8 stacks behind on your jungle item is quite a lot.
Oh, whoa, my god. Yeah, Crisis thought there was nobody there, but there were at least 3 people there. He did not know, and he goes down very easily.
A little bit too much confidence, perhaps.
Whoa. That was a lot of damage coming out with Lars there on the bot side as well, so I wonder if that duel will go any further. Sin having to pop out the spray and pray. Gets a couple... Oh my god, there we go! Whoa, yeah, oh my god! Ketsu on a rampage!
Ketsuo knowing to back out of the 1v1, but catches with a surprise ultimate from the bush. Meanwhile, Ruddy were actually routed from mid lane. They were pushed back. The one weakness of the Cassiopeia in this setup, everything got a little disjointed. Sin's ultimate without a big payoff. Crisis already picked out. That just means Ruddy not able to reach this Ezreal. They may continue to struggle if Ketsuo is assigned up against the Jax. He struggles to get a meaningful advantage in that 1v1. The Jax can dodge out so much, and it's on the Yone to be creative. Let's see where Ruddy send everyone now. There's sort of a cluster while they pick up the red buff. They do have a meaningful amount of freedom with Ketsuo and Akkas both on their teleport.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of freedom, I think you're completely correct. If we look at Ruddy, just like their solo laners are doing so well, right? Like, especially Ketsuo and Wuyu, because, or Fuyu, because look at Fuyu's items. 2 items completed,
like
a Rod of Aegis and Seraph's Embrace. Like,
right?
what?
It's crazy. Crazy. And Jolly Boy, without any friends right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is going to be hard. He's even grounded. Oh my god.
He couldn't do the hop on the miasma. You're absolutely stuck.
Wow. I mean, Ruddy has been showing us kind of like this crazy team coming. It's been working out so fine. Definitely kind of making a statement to the rest of the league to watch out for them in draft.
Alright, Shockwave comes through.
Oh my god, once again, Crisis just doing it to him again. You can't keep getting away with this.
Gates.
Oh, he gets out! I think he gets out, or does he?
Yeah, fancy footwork. He's going to come out near Goldie. Small Crit is going to chase, but he is out of there.
Oh no, and now comes, of course, Ketsuo with the Yone. This is completely balanced, at least 200 years balanced. Oh wait, Sin!
Oh, Sin!
Oh, Sin caught in the crossfire over here. Everybody is in the miasma, so this is prime target for Fuyu to start like popping off, but of course it's not enough. Lars does get the kill. This seems to be a bit of a misplay from the side of VZK at the moment, or not VZK, Ruddy at the moment, because they are disjointed, they are very low, but so is everybody from the side of VZK. That's a nice engage from Goldie. Gets the kill on Crisis, gets the kill on everybody else, and that is Dragon, which is going to be up and available.
Yeah, the value of the Braum in the composition very, very visible there for you. Like, Plat, Kia, and Joya should have ran through that team fight, but with Braum shield up, everyone on the miasma was safe for it to dissipate. Come forwards once again. Sin unfortunately picked that after being greedy.
Oh, Sin trying
he
to go for a
thought about
steal
it.
there. Could have been a really cheeky steal.
Almost not quite as high as the Mystic Shot with the Triforce behind it. VZK now, they've fought back, they're still 5,000 gold behind, but with Ruddy's composition starting to stagger and not being able to take a clean fight after overextending into the base, they need to take it one step back, go to this Baron, set up the objective, and look for the picks. They did catch Jolly Boy out there near the start, which, you know, was the initial pick off in that trade. They're going to look to do it again. It's, you know, it's okay to pick someone out there, and Jolly Boy should really take his friends with them. And as they move towards this Baron, set up with Goldie, get some plants on, and get that vision safely.
Yeah, one thing to kind of note, I think that is interesting for VZK with like their team count getting stronger and stronger, is that Lars will kind of be at one point he will be the answer for whichever decides to be the side lane pusher, right?